I am Anita Dineen and I am a designer maker of small home objects and jewellery pieces. I think iconic design has got to have versatility and performance, and it's got to be able to last the distance and be very appropriate for its purpose. I think design is a problem-solving thing when someone does it really well. It's visible to so many people that it's a good solution, like the Hills hoist. There's that William Morris quote, "Have nothing in your home that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful," and I live by that. I made the mistake when I was younger. I would keep special things for special occasions, and then I lost all my things in a warehouse fire in Melbourne, and I was devastated at the time because there were things in there that I never got to use. And then I realised that was just completely pointless. So I went travelling and I collected lovely things, and things are to be used and people are to be loved. I feel an enormous sense of freedom sitting down at my bench or sitting down at a grinder. I know that might sound bizarre. I think it's an inherent drive to just create and make things. I've always wanted to do things with my hands. And it's so satisfying to go through that process. Creating jewellery feels like a magical world that I go into. I particularly love making things out of metal because of its enduring quality. I hope that it's around in 100 years, and I hope that, you know, it might be a bit battered but still being used. That's really important to me, the longevity of a product. I like to just take away as much as I can and have just the essence of what I want it to do. I came up with the idea for the glide knife because I got frustrated with normal pate knives that had heavy handles, and I really wanted to eliminate that problem of the falling off, and it was just so untidy and jarring. My solution was to take away the handle, and it took me on a completely different journey in simplifying that, and I think that was the beginning of my desire to simplify the whole process and make it as effortless as I possibly could. Glide knife is based on the wing seed of the sycamore seed. It was inspired by having one flutter into my garden. It's nature. I always go to nature. If I'm looking to refine something, I always go to nature and see what nature's doing because, you know, nothing trumps nature. I won the Design Tasmania award with that piece. ANTECHINUS is a little native Tasmanian mouse. It's got a very long pointy nose. It's a stylised mouse, and I think it's quite elegant, and I love that it can, you know, stand on its blade, make the knife look like a mouse. And sit amongst the cheese. My ANTECHINUS cheese knife is my greatest achievement in terms of having it picked up by ALESSI. It's great to have a highlight on Tassie design. I think that, you know, that it helps as well because there are so many talented makers of all different disciplines here. After art school, I moved down to Hobart, and there was a shop in Hobart called Artisan, and they stocked ALESSI products. I would just go in there and walk around it and just look at it, and then I'd go back up to my studio in the Salamanca Arts Centre. I loved how ALESSI really distilled their designs down to, you know, in an anthropomorphic kind of way, that each one you could look at it and it was like it was telling you a story, or there was some kind of feeling of communication, and I don't know if that was my own strange bent on how I perceived it. I guess I found that enormously inspiring to want to communicate something to people who use my work. I grew up to be an ALESSI designer. Oh my goodness, well that was a ridiculously exciting day, going to meet Alberto ALESSI. I was supposed to go for 1 day and ended up going for 3 days. Apparently my pitch was quite unconventional, according to all those that were present. I turned up with a block of the local cheese, sat down with Alberto while he smoked his cigar, and we had a chat and took photos, cracked out the knife. Yeah. And he said, "Yep, we're going to put it into production." Actually, he sent his head engineer away to buy an enormous chunk of Parmesan cheese because he wanted to demonstrate to me that he felt it was very appropriate for cutting Parmesan cheese. Oh, significantly impacted me. Having lunch with the ALESSI family, pretty special. Oh, look, I took over some Tassie wine for Alberto. I took Leatherwood honey over, which I thought was a great thing because it's so unique to Tassie. When I went to the ALESSI factory in Nomania and seeing how they, you know, operate in the actual building, pretty organised. Actually, I was quite surprised actually how much manual labour was required to produce a lot of their pieces. It's not completely industrialised, you know, it's not like a machine running through punching out teaspoons. There's a significant amount of actual physical labour involved in producing those pieces, as well as some amazing tools and equipment. Yeah, really exciting to see that. There's a real element of skill involved in what people are doing, and that's what you can industrialise a process to a point with a lot of pieces, but then it needs someone with a particular skill to realise that piece. Oh, is there something Tasmanian about the way that I design? I don't know. I think being on this little island, there's a remoteness to it and a solitude that's easy for me to find. I'm quite happy being on my own. And actually I have to be on my own when I go into that other worldly realm of where I get ideas and inspiration from. So this is TOPSPIN. I got a female tennis player to do a forehand swing in virtual reality. To me, it's such an elegant form, and it's just so apt as a piece of jewellery. So it can be worn as a pendant, as a number of different ways, actually 4 different ways as a pendant, and as a bangle. When I first tried it out as a bangle, I thought, oh, it's going to catch on everything, and I was amazed. I wore it for a day, and because of this rollies on the back, I could rummage around in my handbag and do all sorts of things, and it was absolutely fine. So you can wear it down there like that. And it's really lovely how it is off the body to a degree. I find it quite enjoyable to wear. Yeah, Design Tasmania for me has been an incubator. Really built my confidence having Design Tasmania there and the team at Design Tasmania in such a nurturing kind of way to encourage me to put my pieces out there and to encourage everyone who's in design to, you know, do the best that they can do and get their work out there. I think all of Tasmania is so lucky that Gary Cleveland set up Design Tasmania. What an amazing man, what a generous man. I can remember going in there as a child. I must have been about 5, I reckon. My parents would take me in there. They've always been great lovers of good art and design and really fostered that in me and my siblings, I think. Just to be around that when I was little, I think that they knew that I appreciated it on some level. I remember being around the leather belts that were like, you know, so much taller than me, but just the quality. I mean, I love good quality things. I love natural fibres and anything that's authentic, really. Just anything that feels, I don't know, there's such satisfaction to great quality materials. If there was no Tasmanian Design Award, then my glide knife would still be just a one-off thing in my drawer. It was just that the Tasmanian Design Award was happening, and it was suggested that I go in it. So I thought, oh, okay, could I make 20 of these? I made 20 of them. My first order was 50. I just nearly fell over. I was like, oh my God, it's going to take me a whole, you know, day just to box them, which happily I've got much quicker at that. What an inspiration Gary Cleveland is, and all that Design Tasmania and bodies now for emerging designers and established designers. We're just so lucky to have that foundation of support. Those exhibition openings at Design Tas are so wonderful for bringing the whole community together.